Sorry, I've got 44
Oh no, you're fine.
seconds.
No, you're fine. I'm just saying. I just asked what you're playing.
Basically Candy Crush, but whatever the heck this
Frozen.
movie is, Frozen. But it's a timed one. You got to give me points in 60 seconds. And I was not sure when you were going to be done, so I started it again.
Oh, you're fine.
I haven't been able to beat this level. I've been playing it for a while. Nope. Damn it.
Hey, look, it was an Uncharted.
I thought it was going well.
Welcome to Ball and Chain Podcast. This is episode 176. I'm Mox Born again. I have with me, as always, it's my angel.
Hello?
Hello. How's your day going?
It's going. It went.
It went. It's come. It's gone. It's almost gone. It's 8 o'clock. 8:04. We're actually starting almost on time this time.
I know.
Almost. We're getting closer. Closer to a regularly scheduled program. But we've just finished watching Once Upon a Time. We tried to finish watching Heroes, but unfortunately, you can't fast forward on demand with Time Warner Cable, and we already watched half of it, so that's kind of frustrating.
It's very frustrating. I figured it would. Most on-demand, regardless of who you're with, won't allow you to fast forward. But
it did, well...
But it didn't save our progress in the show, which is aggravating.
I guess that's what frustrates me the most, is it doesn't save your progress. Which it did save when I watched it a little bit last night, it saved it. But I don't know, whatever. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So we got a little bit, it's going to be a shorter show this week. We've got some really, a lot of our shows are kind of getting back in the swing, so we're going to be talking about those. We got some upcoming video game releases that I'm pretty stoked about. Don't know where I'm going to find $150 to buy all these games, but it's got to happen.
Cost you more than that.
No, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so $25. So 125.
25.
Oh, they're
games are like $60
that's
a
right.
piece.
Oh,
What are
that's
you
right.
talking
Ooh.
about?
What am I talking about?
Like
You're right.
$300.
Yeah, it's like $300. Okay, so we got to find $300 to buy these games. So, and I think you would agree that you would probably play 3 out of the 5 of them. So we'll talk about those.
3 of the 5, which still.
Then we'll talk about what's on our gaming stack, and then we'll close the show. So let's talk about some TV shows. What do you want to start off with?
It's up to you.
Well, we can let's start with Fear the Walking Dead, because that's a pretty good one.
And you didn't have an episode last.
Let's talk about.
And you didn't have an episode last week, correct? You had technical difficulties last week.
No, we didn't. We were supposed to talk about Destiny, and I still want to talk about Destiny. Today we're going to get our initial thoughts today. But I want to have like a spoiler show with you, myself, and
As
Weapon.
I've not played through all of it yet.
Well, that's why I'm saying we're going to wait for that.
Yeah,
So
because I was in San Francisco all week last week.
right. So and we had I couldn't, for some reason, just couldn't get Skype working and recording. I was recording my voice twice and Weapons once, and I just couldn't get it. So I think I've got it now. So we'll figure it out. But once, I think next episode we'll bring Weapon on, and we'll have a spoiler show for that. And the game, I mean, The Taken King will be out for what, 3 weeks by then, 4 weeks, almost a month. So that's plenty enough time. If you haven't finished the campaign by now, it's like you're pretty lacking. You only played once.
I'm lacking.
Well, you only played once. You played twice, and then you went to San Francisco, and now we're here. Anyway, let's talk about Fear the Walking Dead. So, episode 5 was this past Sunday. We've got 1 episode left.
This week?
Let's just cut right to the chase. Who do you think's going to die?
I don't know.
I know. I think that I know. I have a gut feeling that they are not going to kill off the torture dude. That would just be too easy. The guy that tortured the Marine. I don't know. I don't know their names yet.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that they're going to keep him around. Yeah, the barber. I have a feeling they're going to keep him around. He's kind of like the the loose cannon, the Shane, I guess, where he means well.
Shane didn't last long.
Shane did not last long, and he did die in season 1.
And he's kind of hardcore. Like, Shane was kind of like, this is the way things need to. That's what they've talked about, how Rick's become a lot like Shane in the last few seasons.
Right. And I see Shane in this guy as well, because this guy is very much like, you know what, this is what we have to do to survive.
And it's all about survival at this point.
And if you don't like it, and the thing is, like, and you talked about this when we were watching it, it's kind of funny that they jump so far off of civilization. Like, as soon as things don't even hit the fan yet, as soon as shit hasn't even, they just left their fingertips. Like, shit hasn't hit the fan yet, and they're like, you know what? Screw civilization. We're just gonna, you know what I mean? Like, they just.
Well, that's what it even says in the very beginning, and it says when things fall apart, they fall apart fast. I think, or something along those lines is the quote. And the one thing that some of the, you know, I've got a message board I talk, you know, girls I talk with online, and their biggest, I guess one of their biggest complaints, they don't really feel some of the character development is there, but B, it's the fact that you're very quickly seeing that zombies aren't necessarily the threat, it's people.
Right.
Which it took kind of a while to get there.
In the other show.
Right. So, you know, they're already realizing that, okay, you know, this military guy, you know, some of the military people aren't to be trusted. They're taking people out of the homes in the middle of the night. The one military guy said, you know, we couldn't tell who were people and who were zombies, so we just locked everybody together in the Coliseum.
Right. And now they're all zombies.
Right. So, you know, it could have very easily been contained if it weren't for some of the mob mentality and riots that were going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just large masses of uncontrolled people, and then fear of really kind of the unknown in the military, you know, strong-handing everybody and really not taking control of the situation, that screwed everybody over, essentially.
Right. Well, they did a pretty good job of putting a fence up.
Woo, fence. You did that the other day.
I did put the fence up the other day. Not quite as
not zombie-proof, really.
It's not very zombie-proof. It's not really anything proof. It might be Gladys proof, but that's about it. Yeah, I'm excited to see it come to a close, and see what kind of cliffhangers they give us, because there's gonna be one. I mean, there's gonna be someone that. There's got to be someone that dies, someone that's close. I mean, the one mom already died, and I think once the mom, with the foot, the lady who got her foot cut off. She got the trank
barber's
dart.
Wife.
Yeah, barber's wife. She got the trank dart to the forehead.
Griselda or something her name is. Yeah.
So, I'm trying to think who they can let go and still have a good dynamic of characters, because there's really not that many. I mean, if you think about, they've got the heroin addict, the two normal kids, the ex-wife, the wife, the husband, the barber, and the barber's daughter. So they've got what, 6, 7, 8 characters. And when you look at where season 1 left off with the first Walking Dead, I mean, you had close to 12 people in their group, so of course they could let go of, you know, Dale's right-hand man. They could afford to lose him. So, and then, like, also they got rid of a couple of the problem children, like what's the one chick's name with the short hair? I can't remember her name. Carol. They got rid of Carol's husband.
Oh. He
bit the dust pretty quick. But they just had a wider range of characters to pull from. So maybe they won't kill somebody off. I don't know. But there's got to be some cliffhanger. Maybe they end on a cliffhanger, someone that's in peril or something like that. And it's like, oh, stay tuned for next season. And like, oh, come on. Which I wonder if knowing that Walking Dead starts the week after, if they will be like, you know what, that's probably not a bad idea. Let's just go ahead and do that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if we weren't getting any Walking Dead until the next season, or if you're The Walking Dead, then it might have changed the story around a little bit. I don't know, but so you don't have any predictions on who might pass or?
I really don't. I was actually, while you were talking on here, looking because I've been seeing some reports that Fear the Walking Dead got huge. I mean, tons of viewers its first episode, but I guess the viewership's fallen down over the last few episodes, and their ratings have kind of gone down. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens.
I hope they don't cancel. I really like it. I think they're doing an excellent job with it.
I mean, it does say here that it's still outside the NFL. It's still the most dominant show on Sunday night television right now. Right. So it's still getting really good viewership. I guess the pilot had 10.1 million viewers.
So does that, I wonder if they count in people at DVR. Like, we didn't watch it live, did we?
We did.
Oh, we did?
The 5th episode had fallen to 6.66 million viewers. So it's quite a fall off. Mm-hmm.
Or roughly a third fell off. 2/3 stayed.
Right.
That's not too bad. I mean, I wonder, I'm kind of curious to see, because is episode 1 the only one that we watched live?
I don't know. It does here say, though, that there was a 3.6 rating with the key demographic rated at 3.6, whereas Family Guy got a 1.5, and that new Blood and Oil show got a 1.4, and the 2-hour season finale 1.8. So it's still getting much higher ratings than other television shows out there. And it does say here that they can tell who's DVR'd it and who are the DVR viewers.
Okay, that's good.
Once DVR viewers were accounted for, Fear the Walking Dead's ratings skyrocketed. Basically, once you count DVR viewers, it's 11.5 million.
Damn.
And nothing on cable came close to that. So,
okay, so it's a hit. It's a hit. It's coming back.
Let's hope.
When it comes back, let's get every episode of Talking Fear afterwards.
Talking Fear, yeah.
So
anyway,
yeah. So I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I can't wait for the season finale. I wonder.
And the season premiere of The New Walking Dead.
Yeah, The New Walking Dead.
Even more exciting.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad for Rick. I've every all the video spots and everything like that. I always have him in like
very depressing
mode, and very like everyone's against him, and I don't know if they're just trying to drum up like more action, more like hype or whatever, and it's not as I mean, we see it time and time again with their commercials. They'll play some video shot and some audio shot from a completely different scene and make it look like, you know, right. And they do an excellent job. Like, flat out excellent job saying, holy shit, someone's good. That Daryl's gonna die. Like, they can't kill Daryl, but it's like, you know, gunshots from another scene, and Daryl's not, you know.
Right.
So they do an excellent job doing that.
Although in one of the promos, it does show him tied up with like a gun to his face. I think.
But I don't think that's the first time he's had a gun in his face, though.
Yeah, we'll see.
So,
at any rate,
so yeah.
That's Fear the Walking Dead. What else do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about your Once Upon a Time.
Alrighty. Once Upon a Time, I believe, is in its 5th season. Definitely one of my favorite shows. I would say it's aimed more towards the female demographic.
Yeah, I would say so.
I mean, it's based on fairy tales.
Mm-hmm.
And Disney
Although
movies.
I appreciate the way they integrate all the fairy tales into each other. That's freaking awesome. Like the story is more like Prince Charming and all that stuff, and good versus evil, and good versus evil. I can speak.
But it's very creative in their different takes on some of the standard classics. It's by the people who did Lost, and you can kind of tell in the way that they tell stories, mm-hmm. with a lot of, you know, some flashbacks, some flash forwards,
alternate
delving
realities.
Between the different fairy tale worlds in our world. Oh, yeah. They did have, not only are they integrating fairy tales like Red Riding Hood and things of that nature, but they are
integrating
other, like other Disney, because ABC, of course, is, ABC Disney. They do integrate other Disney characters.
Right. So
Merida on this last episode.
Which I thought they did a pretty good job without like like they could have brought in like the whole family and like the bears and all that stuff, but it was just,
which they touched on.
They touched on a little bit.
Make a joke about it.
But she also alluded, and you mentioned that her father's dead.
Right, which does not happen in the movie. So there's been some events that kind of
push the story forward after the movie. So that's interesting.
And the same thing with when they did Frozen. They kind of, you had all the events of Frozen, and then this happened sometime after, and that Elsa was in this jar, that she was captured in, and how, and you get background on them with their family, but then you also get some outside events. So it's kind of neat how they do that, and how, with, like you said, how they piece together the different fairy tales with, Cinderella wants to go to the ball. Well, Rumpelstiltskin kills the fairy godmother, and he's the one who sends her to the ball. As part of her deal, and giving up her child and all this. So it's, like you said, it's very interesting. Rumpelstiltskin's the crocodile from Hook, from Peter Pan. He actually is the one who chopped off Captain Hook's hand.
He also plays Beast.
He plays the Beast, yeah. So really, Rumpelstiltskin is the glue that holds everything together. And really ties all, it wraps it all up. I don't know. It's
now he's playing
storytelling.
Now he's playing the dark one, which is Emma. Her like conscience or what? Or I guess the person on her shoulder talking. I guess he's not really there, but that's what she hears in her head. So, and the fact that they chose him to, since he's not going to be playing a large role in the actual series from now on until he wakes up.
If he wakes up, yeah.
If he wakes up.
I can't see them getting rid of him, though. He's too...
No.
He's great.
Like you said, he's the glue.
He's
the freaking glue that holds that story together. And he just gives someone to fall back on. One of the commenters says that they need more villains.
Yeah, Maleficent was in it last season quite a bit, along with the Dalmatians chick and Ursula. Cruella de Vil and Ursula, they were like a little trio of buddies, evil buddies. But and you see Hansel and Gretel in it briefly. So they do a lot of fairy tale.
It'd be interesting to see how many different storylines they've integrated, like just a flow chart. Like, okay, we've got Snow White, Prince Charming, you've got Cinderella. Just see a flow chart of all the different people that they've interwoven into this.
Rumpelstiltskin, Red Riding Hood, Hansel and Gretel,
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Right. Wizard of Oz is in there. So.
Yep, I think I love the storytelling.
It's a neat story, and it's PG, so kids can watch it. I mean, it does get dark sometimes, but there's no extreme violence. There's no swearing. There's none of that stuff.
It's all fairy tale,
right? So
fantasy.
So that's nice that it does play that role. There's never more than one gun on screen at a time.
Has there been a gun on screen?
Yeah.
So usually it's wands or swords.
Yeah, season 1 or 2 had Emma had her firearm.
She may have had a pistol or something.
Yeah. So it's nice that they kept it that family oriented, but adults can still enjoy it.
ABC Disney.
Yep. So. Okay. Heroes Reborn.
We have not finished.
We watched, we
touched briefly on this.
We watched the first hour of the premiere, which according to Time Warner Cable is episode 1 and 2, and then episode 3 is this next episode. So it's not really a 1 hour premiere or whatever, 2 hour premiere. It's just episode 1 and 2 smashed together.
That's what they do though.
Oh,
a lot
really?
of times for 2 hour premieres. Yeah.
Okay.
But
they really.
I really don't know how I felt about it.
They really kind of jumped right in there. 2 minutes in, everyone's dead.
Yeah. Like you said, the whole I could have done without the whole video game girl.
Yeah,
that just is.
That's just weird. It seemed forced. It seemed very.
A lot
forced.
of it seemed forced. And I think that's the problem they had when Heroes started out to be this great series, and it really it's kind of what jump started a lot of these other heroes, their superhero series like Agents of the Shield and a bunch of other ones. So that's why they brought it back, was because there was kind of almost a cult following, and it really did a lot to jumpstart that genre. But again, ratings and viewers fell when they started getting a little stretched, I think. Right. I still enjoyed it because I liked the characters. It had done a good job of building them up. The thing I see with this, and it's not planned to be a multiple season series. It's meant to be like a little mini series.
Right.
And the thing I'm feel it lacking is that character development. You have a little bit of the feeling with the, horn rimmed glasses guy, Bennett, because he was in the first one, but everybody else, you just kind of feel.
I don't know. I like the kid that can send people to other dimensions and other things. That's pretty sweet. Like.
And I don't know if I liked him for that reason, or if it's. I remember he was Peter Pan in Lost.
Or in Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time, and so.
I don't know. I think he plays that character very well. Like,
yeah.
Kind of like the scared lost boy.
And he.
I would watch a show of just him running from these people that are trying to capture him. Like that's like sign me up for that.
I think I like him as an actor. He's strong.
Yeah. I don't know.
That whole Japanese.
Yeah, that kind of
katana girl, whatever.
Yeah, that kind of turned me off.
Ugh, almost painful to watch. You almost want to fast forward through that.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Like, this is not enjoyable at all. Like, I don't know. I had high hopes for it. I'm hoping that the second episode, I guess, turns it around. I was really hoping that they would introduce Hero into this one, but I don't know if they're going to. I know he's in here somewhere because he was in some of the previews. So
I think they brought back only very few. Not many re-signed up. Zachary Quinto did not sign back up. Hayden Panettiere, however you say her name, she is not. That's the cheerleader chick.
Oh, Claire. Claire? No.
Yeah, Claire. I don't believe she's back in it. Suresh is Mohinder, and he showed up a little bit in the.
He had their picture on the TV, so hopefully he's actually play as a part.
Right.
Just didn't use his likeness.
And Matt, the cop.
Oh, yeah,
guy,
okay.
he's supposed to be back in it.
So maybe once they introduce some
people that you have familiar, yeah.
I wonder how they'll integrate those people in. I mean, I guess it probably wouldn't be that difficult because they're in the same town, so
roughly
the same area. So it's not like Fear the Walking Dead where we're the entire country apart.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get the rest of the series out. I really enjoyed Heroes 1 and the first and 2 seasons, but once they went to the carnival, like
that was the 4th season.
Was it the 4th? It kind of lost me there after that. I was just like, okay, this is. I don't know.
It did a lot of people. I was fine with it, but yeah, it did that to a lot of people.
So okay.
Anyway, that's TV shows.
TV shows, open and shut. We're switching back to DirecTV, by the way.
Yeah.
Like Time Warner Cable can just suck it. Like I can't wait to watch South Park again. Like it worked sometimes, and I got to actually watch the second episode of the new series because they're in the middle of their new series or new season, and let me tell you, Principal PC is totally awesome.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So apparently, the principal of South Park Elementary either died or is no longer there, or resigned or something. And
is that the blonde, curly-haired girl?
Yes. And they brought in a new principal character whose name is Principal PC, Political Correctness. So he's all about making sure everybody is politically correct. And it's so hilariously funny that it's kind of sad when you think about it in the real world where people stutter over their words when they're trying to be politically correct. And it's a great episode. It's a great character. I hope they keep him around for a while. But yeah, so going back to DirecTV. Yes. And
you wanted to talk about upcoming releases.
New releases. So the next 2 months are pretty much jam packed with a game coming out almost every week. starting with Rock Band 4 on October 6th. So that's going to be a thing. That's more than a $60 game.
You can't use the same.
You might be able to. I don't know. That's a
Okay.
good question.
All right. I thought that was something we discussed previously, was that you were going to be able to, but maybe we did not discuss that.
Oh, you know what we did discuss? We discussed use backwards compatibility for Rock Band 3. Because when they announced backwards compatibility, they talked about how USB peripherals will not be backwards compatible with old games. So I don't know if those will be good for new games, but
okay.
So yeah. So Rock Band 4, we need new instruments anyway. I mean, we've gone three iterations without new instruments, so we need new instruments.
We got those for our wedding gift.
I know, 8
Almost
years
8
ago.
years ago.
8 years ago. So I think we've got the use out of them. They still work.
Okay.
But I think we just need a new set. And then Halo 5 Guardians. That's October 27th. Totally looking forward to that. Was kind of poo-pooing it for a little bit, just because they didn't 343 didn't do a very good job with Master Chief Collection. However, I have been playing that quite a bit lately, and it seems to be a little bit more stable. So that's
I think I would still wait a little bit before going out and buying Halo 5.
No, I'm gonna buy it day one. That's gonna be day one.
Oh
we're
my
gonna
God.
download that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
You did the same thing for Master Chief.
I did. But this one will be better. This one will be better.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that.
It will be. Darksiders 2, October 27th. This is a remastered edition of the second one for the 360. Didn't actually get to play this one on the 360. The first one was amazing. We reviewed it way back when, the first one, and it reminded me a lot of Zelda, only a mature rated Zelda game on the Xbox, which was totally awesome. So this has got all the DLC, upgraded graphics, 1080p resolution support. And then on November 10th, Fallout 4. Going back to the Wasteland for endless amounts of fun.
I hope it's decent. Like I said, I liked Fallout 3. I couldn't get into New Vegas, so.
So this is the same people that made Fallout 3. So yeah. It's gonna be awesome.
Okay.
It's gonna be awesome. And then a game that I probably won't buy on release. This will probably be shortly after the new year. Will be Star Wars Battlefront. Just a huge first-person shooter with Star Wars caped all over it.
Okay.
Just a whole bunch of Star Wars. So those are the games I'm looking forward to. Like I said, you'll probably play 3? You'll play Rock Band. You'll play Halo. You'll play Fallout.
I suppose.
And you know what? There is a game that I saw that I want you to try. It's kind of like Rayman. It's a platformer. It's called Ori and the Blind Forest. It's really cool, like artsy style. Kind of reminds me of Limbo from the Xbox 360. The real dark. But this is kind of dark, but it's a lot of like really bright greens and blues, and it's kind of shiny.
Okay.
I think you'll like it. I really do. It's fun. It's not it doesn't seem to be as intense as Rayman, where there's like you have like if you don't hit this jump exactly like this, you're not going to pass this level.
Right.
So I think it's a little more forgiving. So.
Okay.
So we can move on to the gaming stack. Oh, there it goes. Haha. So let's talk about Destiny, and then we'll close out the show. So far, have you finished? You haven't finished the story yet. Let's see here.
I haven't done a raid.
You haven't done the raid yet. You basically started the story.
Is there a raid?
There is a raid.
Okay.
There is a raid.
And I've not done
two
strikes.
new strikes.
And I've not done any multiplayer.
Okay, so let's talk about what you have. Let's talk about what you have done. Character progression. How do you like the difference between your light level going up with your equipment versus your actual experience?
I don't know yet. Like I said, I
You're
haven't played much.
You're like a level 30
I don't remember.
I thought you were level 38 because you're pretty close to
4.
34. Okay.
I think. I don't know. I honestly don't remember. It's been over 2 weeks since I've last played.
Mm-hmm.
And I really haven't got a feel for how. I still have my old
equipment.
Yeah. I really haven't done anything.
I think that's the hardest part for me is having all this equipment that I play. Like, and I don't want to say worked hard for, like, because it's like we played a game. Like, it's not really hard work.
But you spent time. You spent all this time on this equipment and acquiring it and getting it to be the gold equipment and everything, and then you go back down to green. You're like,
now you're replacing it with green and blues.
Right.
I did get a purple chess piece, which is awesome. Do you like that you can upgrade year 1 equipment to year 2? Like there's certain pieces of gold equipment that you can upgrade, which is nice. The other thing that you can do in multiplayer, you can use any armor that you want because it's all a base level, and except for the Iron Banner, of course, because that actually uses your base stats and all that stuff. But like in multiplayer, you can I can use my Thorn still and all that, and it'll still be just as good, if not on par, or the armor and shit like that. So that's a good place to play. But yeah, I enjoyed the new level cap, like the leveling system much more. The light level has not really been downgraded, but set aside and is more of your armor, like in WoW, like your armor class and stuff like that. So it kind of gives them another parameter for like gauging how good you're gonna do in a certain strike. So like some strikes you can only do if you have such a certain high level of light, which is nice.
Well, and I haven't really figured out. I've only played it twice briefly since Crota even came out. Like, it's been a while. So there's a lot of changes. I never played House of Wolves, any of that stuff yet. And so there's a lot of like new terms, new pieces, different ways of doing things that I'm totally behind on. And it's kind of like playing a whole new foreign game to me. So, and I'm not there yet.
The other nice thing and it's not really a monumental change, but it's something that I can appreciate is, when you would break down armor pieces, you would get like
and now it's just armor piece
one. That is awesome.
Not the thread or the
coil or whatever. That is awesome because now I can, no matter what character I'm playing as, I can safely rely on, okay, I've got this amount of this. Okay, no, I need to go buy this piece of armor so I can give it to my other. There's no balancing act there. That's nice. I unlocked my third ability, which was awesome. They actually send you on a mission for that.
Third ability.
So like the hunter now instead of doing the golden gun or the sword, has a bow and arrow that you can, when you super fills up, you can use like a bow and arrow, like a one-shot bow and arrow type of dealy. So they actually send you on a quest for that. So that's neat. That's not like, oh, you hit level 40, here's a new ability. No, there's a whole storyline. There is you're tracking down an old hunter, and there's actually story elements to it, cutscenes, everything. And at the very end, it's the greatest thing. It's just like this endless battle of bad guys, and your super just keeps filling it up, and it's just like.
You want to tell me this? I've not done it yet.
Well, you'll have your own, because each character has their own. So like you'll have one because you're a Titan, right? Yeah. So you'll have your own for your like little hammer of flaming thing going on. So
I don't even know what it is. Yeah.
It's a giant hammer. It turns to fire and like you start throwing it. Oh, it's totally awesome. You should try it. It's fun.
I don't have time. I worked. I came home, made dinner, podcasting, and now going back to work.
Yep. So anyway, so the Taken King, I think it's worth it. I think like, the $40 price point was a pretty big pill to swallow,
especially considering we had to buy House of Wolves.
Especially since we had to buy all that, so it's like $60. So it was a $60 investment. But I mean, we got the House of Wolves stuff, so there's an extra couple multiplayer maps, an extra, not a raid, but an extra strike. So now we're not limited to the strikes that we have, just the base game. So I don't know. the only thing that I feel kind of cheated on is the fact that we missed out of the event kind of thing with the House of Wolves. Like I jumped in a little bit and saw some of the packs or whatever where you'd be patrolling around and like a pack would come out of nowhere and you have to take them down or whatever. I did like 1 or 2 of those and I was like, well, I don't know what the hell this is, but sweet. So those aren't there anymore. Kind of like the Sword of Crota where the actual guy would come out and you'd have to kill the dude that's holding the sword.
Okay, he doesn't come out anymore.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Yeah, they stopped. He stopped coming out when House of Wolves started.
Oh. Yeah.
And now that Taken King is out, the House of Wolves guys, the Wolf packs don't come out. So now you have like these awesome new. I don't remember what they call the Fallen. That's what they're called, the Fallen, right? Yeah, they're like the
You've
black,
played it a lot more than
the
me.
black twitchy things,
Shadowy
the
guys.
shadowy guys.
Remind me of that game, Echo, whatever the heck
Eco.
that was. Yeah, I see Echo.
So, I don't know. I think it's totally worth it. There's a lot of content there, which there better be for $40, $60. I mean, it's a whole new game practically. So anyway, what do y'all think the Taken King will offer the game of Destiny? I think longevity. I think it's going to create. I mean, if you think about how many times people ran Crota raids, and the thing is, so the actual release of the Taken King was 2 weeks ago, right? It's been 2 weeks since it's been out, and people are just now finding out that there are specific weapons for your class. Like there are hidden quests, like all scattered throughout the universe. So the fact that these are just now appearing and people like, I think it'll give longevity. The extra equipment slots, like the artifacts, the swords, the different weapons to run, the chase down. I really think they should in the
defense,
next.
I mean, doing the whole way that it levels up with your light level and having basically adding up your defense and your strength levels and having like your ghost shells and different things that your little, whether it's your
Equipment,
band or your warlock,
your class
bond
item.
right, your class item. Those things actually add something to you now. That and your ghost shell, they actually have some of them actually have abilities,
Right.
and then add to your strength or defense. I think that kind of gives you more things to collect too.
Mm-hmm. I think the other thing, if they in the next patch or the next update or whatever, if they give us the ability to have two two epic, what do they call? What's the gold pieces?
I don't know.
Not legendary. I can't remember what it's called.
No idea. I can't remember.
2 gold pieces of equipment equipped at the same time. I think that would be pretty sweet. That would be something that I would shoot for. I mean, that would be you could start stringing together different abilities and stuff like that, like different perks that each one gives. You could like overpower on one. So like if you had like a helmet that gave you speed boost and like boots that gave you speed boost, kind of like what the mighty multi-tool does or whatever, or mighty tool. I don't know, the gun that gives you like speed boost or whatever. I don't know. I think the Taken King itself gives a lot brings a lot to the table. There's still
They've
more.
definitely changed, and probably for the better, the way story is told.
Oh my God, yes.
I still feel like I'm lacking on story because it wasn't there for the first part to really build you into this character. But for the new parts, I mean, there's more conversations going on in your helmet, with your comms with people back on base. There's more cut scenes and videos.
Well, just having the names of who's talking is amazing. Like when up in your little right hand corner, it's got your picture, your icon of your ghost, and like when someone talks, it shows their name. That right there, like, goes a long way.
I think if it had started out that way, it would have been a lot better.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's definitely an improvement.
And I mean, this is supposed to be a 10-year game, so I mean, this will be something that just evolves over time. And we just finished year 1, so like Destiny just came out just over a year ago. So like, you know, if you think back to what WoW was when it first released, there's what 4, 5 different characters to pick from, you know, a couple different starting points. Like it wasn't this. It was a grand game, obviously, because look where it's at now. But I mean, look where it's at now versus where it began. So I have a feeling that, you know, Destiny's on a similar path. So, okay. Anything else you want to talk about?
Nope.
All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you guys, everybody, for watching. If you want to head over to our YouTube page, that's youtube.com/72DPI online. We've got all of our past shows. It also hosts the rest of our clan's videos. Mana Drain is on there with myself and Magic Vice. We talk about Magic the Gathering. We just finished up episode 4 yesterday. Let's see here. I want to thank everybody for watching live on our Twitch stream. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can watch us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on twitch.tv/BC podcast. And yeah, so we'll be back next Wednesday, October 7th, for episode 177.
Yay.
Anything else?
No, I'm beat.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.